Ah, Clive. Your timing is exquisite, as always. I have a concern which you may be able to assist me with.
Go on.
There are whisperings afoot of shadowy figures having been sighted outside the village. Rustlings in the undergrowth, suspicious noises. My people fear that they are being watched. It may be no more than a surfeit of nerves, understandable in the current climate, or it may be the prelude to something altogether more dangerous. Given what I hope you'll forgive me calling your nose for trouble, I wondered if you might investigate.
Of course.
You might begin by speaking with the good citizens of Lostwing. Listen to their tales, and make what you will of them.
All right. I will.
Oh yeah. Alright. Alright.
Right. Let's see what the people of the village have to say. I better find out if this is just nerves, or something we need to take more seriously.
Ramai bener tuh kebun.
Excuse me. Quentin mentioned strange figures having been sighted near the village. Have you seen anything?
Nah, not me, Gov. I heard the rumours, though. I'm here most days, right next to the gate, and I ain't seen nothing out of the ordinary. Don't worry. Any shady characters try and slip into...
All right.
If you ever need a room, Sid. The crystals we get from the tail are all but worthless.
You right, Sid? Something on your mind?
There is actually. Can I ask you something? Quentin tells me people have mentioned shadowy figures out in the woods. Have you noticed anything unusual?
Oh, that. I heard the rumours, mind, from the lads working over at the vineyard, but...
Right.
Kebun anggur.
Do you have a moment? There's talk of suspicious figures in the woods. Have you seen anything out of the ordinary?
No, but I've heard something. Sound of scraping metal, like someone sharpening a sword.
Ih, musuh yang di
Where was this?
In Lorbert's Pass. Was out foraging for herbs when I heard it, screeching out from between the trees. Ran back here as quick as my legs would carry me, and I ain't been back since.
I see. I'll look. Seems Lorbert's Pass is our best bet then. What do you say, Torgal? Shall we go and investigate? You there?
Fuck! He's seen us.
Black Shield terapang.
Black Shields. Here. What the hell are you doing here?
What is it to you? Not that we give a damn. All that matters to us is that you don't leave here alive.
Oh boleh itu nyangkut kan. Black Shield ternyata kami.
Why were they here? Were they planning an attack on Lost Wing? I need to warn Quentin.
Clive, how
I found some black shields hiding near Lorbert's.
black shields, though they serve another master now. And it would appear the pack has finally caught the scent of its... Damn it all. I had hoped I would have more time than this. And bite back.
I'm sorry. Who did the black shield serve now?
Oh iya,
Why would
siapa
that
ini?
person want you dead?
Because I want him dead.
Who?
The former Lord Chief Justice of Sanbreque. All that I have built here
Di,
is for him.
I don't
gak ada ya
understand.
kambing Final Fantasy
Why
bajakan
Why
kejar
Lost Wing?
ya.
I suppose it is better that you know the truth. I was a member of the judiciary once. So sickened was I by the injustice of this world, I
Dia mah
swore
ke
to
Denufo
fight it.
kayaknya.
And fight it
Berat
I
banget
did in
kambing
my
gamenya.
own small way. I
Ini
saw
lu-
more than a few corrupt
Denufo tuh
officials
anti
condemned
bajak.
to the very cells into which they had thrown blameless innocents. Men to whom the law was but a
Kabarin
scourge
kalau
to
ada
turn against
MC
the
dibajak
powers.
kayaknya.
And throughout, it was the Lord Chief Justice who backed me, who was my one true ally in the quest to see justice done.
So what changed?
I discovered that he hunted bearers for I was a fool to think he shared my hatred, a means of rid. His response, however, was rather more visceral. He had my entire family
Kok jadi
slaughtered.
idip kambing
He
ceritanya?
faced no punishment whatsoever. I lost
Saya
everything.
dulu cuma suruh nyariin
My loved
ini.
ones, my livelihood,
Investigate
my
tuh.
position. The faith I had once held that any modicum of justice might be achieved through the courts. So I set about enacting my own. I tracked down every soul who served him and slit their throats myself.
Wah ngeri
The
banget.
man himself proved an altogether more difficult target. With money and power come protection.
FIFA
And so I
23
saw
yang
that I
mana
would need
ya?
an army of my own. I
Oh,
came
iya.
here to Lost Wing and began recruiting like-minded individuals.
And everyone here knows this is why you do what you do.
Of course. They too have lost loved ones to the bearer hunts.
Ah, game
Seen
game
faultless
tahunan
friends
kambing.
sent to
Boring,
the
boring,
gallows
boring.
to spare the guilty. All
Ih,
under the
Pak.
watchful eye of the
Yang
Lord
baru
Chief
tuh keluar
Justice.
lagi.
Our wounds
Gak ada
are the
bedanya
same,
main 24 yang gue pernah main.
and our cause is the same. We are comrades, and our revenge is already in motion. We know where he hides, how numerous and well-trained his guard. What we did not know until now, however, was that
Quentin,
our time is short. He may move against
Nih perang nih, perang nih, perang.
my friends and comrades. It begins. Make ready for war.
Time to war. Gue nggak ikut. Kambing gak diajak.
I'm not going to change his mind.
Mana ya tadi? Bonti.
We're seeing troops amassing at every
Velcro empty hovel. Velcro. Empty hovel di mana nih? Gue nyari suruh out of nowhere aja. Belum kebuka.
Back to the stables, girl.
Ben nggak nge-lag. Sedih. Utama kambing.
Let's go.
Kalau jengking kamu bener. jalan kambing. Gak mungkin ke tempat bos dong, kan bener. Ah, bukan bos dia kambing. Deng 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 deng. Ah, Jojo cuma nemu batu ini doang. Bobat minyak kayu putih ya, buset dah. Yang jual ternyata baru.
The most fragrant herbs and spices.
Gone, just like that. And without so much as a... it's my apprentice. He up and vanished while my back was turned. I'd go and look for him myself, but I've got a bakery to... Loath though I am to rely on the kindness of strangers, I'm at a loss.
I'll see what I can do.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was off somewhere mooning at Drake's Fang.
All right.
Trekking.
Come on. Run like the wind.
Oh, orang lain di tengah.
You deserve a rest.
Apa pula ini The Nine of Knife?
My blade yet burns.
Shut up.
Come. Let us feast on your flesh.
Your feasting days are over.
Oh, nggak kena kambing. Ah, KO gua kambing. gampang banget knock-in suplex. Oh, juga kan.
It's over.
Ranking SR kita kambing sobat.
Those who kill for sport deserve no better.
Kurang semua gini. Udah. Nggak penting deh. Ini ya mau berat kambing gamenya. Bagus sih. Bagus ini juga nyoy. Ini musuh kalau lagi diem aja. Kayak saya biasa. Ini kenapa ya? Oh, udah beda ya. Nah. Oh, tukang kuenya. Oh, salah ya. Belum di atas. Ay, galau nyo.
Excuse me.
What do you want?
The baker sent me to find you.
I am a sorry, selfish sod, aren't I? Certainly not a baker. Master must have ruled the day he took me in. Time was the sight of the fang used to calm my nerves. But now look at her.
I take it you missed the mother crystal.
I hated her, but she was all I knew. Worked her mines for years. And when she shattered,
Oh,
part of me shattered
tukang
with her.
ini ternyata.
I had to trade my
Main
pickaxe for a
dia.
rolling pin. But I'm no good at baking. Every loaf I touch collapses. My bread's as hollow as I am. She was the only thing that could fill the hole inside me. But now
Kambing
she's
dengerin
gone.
sesi curhat dah.
She's never coming. What am I supposed to do?
Hmm.
Try to remember the good times. Do that, and the mother crystal will be with you no matter where you are.
Even in the bakery. What a fool I've been. I have to get back there right away.
Wait. Suppose you won't be needing an escort then.
Langsung balik damage-nya. Gue balik tuh.
Ah, there you are. Though I worry you might have stoked the flames a little too high. He damn near ran me down trying to get to my oven.
Master, it's ready.
I dare say it is.
Just look at it. A
bikin
perfect likeness
replikanya
of the
kambing.
Fang herself. Her steeple peaks. True, my loaves collapse more often than not, but... And look, inside. She's filled to bursting with a bounty of beautiful crystals. Salt crystals! Master, I must use my work here to preserve the memory of the Fang.
Well, if it tastes half as unique as it looks, I'd certainly say you're onto something. Not only is my apprentice back, but he's finally... I don't know how you did it.
Hanya 100 doang.
The most fragrant herbs and...
The finest fabrics, fresh from the capital.
Looks like I found the river. Now where's Otto?
Ottoman. Ini.
Otto. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, Clive. I had a quick scout about, and I reckon this area's our best bet. Seems Blackthorn's the only one who thinks smithing with his Stardust stuff's a good idea. It's just lying here, waiting for any old fool to fill his boots.
But unlike any old fool, you thought to bring a wagon.
Well spotted. Now get filling.
Bisa warna biru kayak gitu. Oh, ini Stardust nih.
So this is Stardust. It just looks like black sand to me.
Baik ke kambing. Oh, the last one. Yang terakhir mana ini? Ini.
That should be enough for now. Let's see. Otto's getting on.
Pushing.
How much did you get?
Enough. I hope.
Cuma 5 cukup lah.
More than me. Put it all together and I can't see Blackthorne complaining. Much. Here, Clive. Do you fancy a walk? Sid would be proud.
Of what?
Of you, you idiot. The way you've carried on what he started. When we first met, I had you down as a spoilt little puppy who enjoyed nothing more than biting the hand that fed you. 5 years on, you're the one doing the feeding. So thanks for proving me wrong.
You weren't wrong. But I changed. Thanks to Sid. And thanks to you.
Kemana teman?
When I suggested taking on his name, you were the first to back me. And if you hadn't, no one else would have. I couldn't have done any of this without you, Otto.
Don't give over. You're making me blush. All I did was choose hope over despair. I gave you a chance, yes, but you're the one who took it. You took a rabble of homeless, hopeless outcasts and put them back on their feet. Gave them something worth fighting for, just like the old Sid did. About time I was heading all this scrabbling about.
I'll see you back at the hideaway then. You can take a well-earned rest when you get there.
Oh, I plan to. Believe. But I'll make sure Blackthorne gets...
Nah, balik dah, gua mau berburu.
Right.
Masa balik? Berarti saya yang udah nih.
Good girl.
Shit, harus balik lagi ternyata.
Let's go. Faster.
Lurus ke ujung. Daripada dia nih.
Dumb vultures. You were preying on the trade caravans. You've made the wrong target. Good girl.
Jemplong. Oh, udah upgrade apa jadi ini bate? Ini ada damage ada. Cuek. Mana dah yang bos dah? Ini nggak ada potion nih. Itu dia tuh ini. Itu bandit kagak ada nyana apa? Kemudian ini. Ada kura-kura yang ini lagi. Kura-kura apa? Kamu dulu lagi pasir.
Well, Clive.
Oke, ngeluarin es, pastikan dia hidup bang.
Make a sword.
Habis baru berdiri. Gue nggak expect muter-muter kayak gitu. Udah, five. Ding 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 ding.
It should have stayed in its shell.
Satu lagi mana tuh? Ini gue belum buka nih mapnya.
Let's hope this is all Blackthorn needs.
We're seeing troops amassing at every border.
Udah semua kan mesin.
Clive. Here you go. Always something in there.
Nantinya sisa. Kedua. Ngilik.
How'd you lot get on? I brought back all that stuff Blackthorn asked for.
There you are. Blackthorn's got his precious stardust, in case you were wondering.
Blackthorn, got everything you need?
Yeah, I do. Cheers for the stardust. Should be enough to be getting on with.
Nice to get out and about for once. Let's do it again sometime, eh?
I'll make a start on putting this. It'll take some time, mind. So if you've got other things to be getting on with, I could do without you breathing down my neck.
Thank you, Blackthorn. I'll let Mid know construction's underway.
Suppose we'd better be getting back to work too.
Give us a shout if you need anything.
Oh iya sabar. Potion.
And what can I do for you? You'll not find a better price than that. It'd better all be here. You'll not find a better price than that.
Tadi masih ngomong sama angsang bebek deh.
I have done it, Sid. I have learned all the letters. Everyone.
Untuk ngajar nih.
I'll come up with something soon.
You'll be pleased to hear that Blackthorn started work on the plating.
Excellent. 1 down, 2 to go.
So, what's next?
The helm, of course.
Huh?
For this, we'll be repurposing fallen scrap.
Salvage from the ruins? I thought that material was all but impossible to work.
Ah, but we don't have to.
I'm sorry.
Just so happens there's one particular ruin that's broken into exactly the right shape and size pieces for what we need. What's the name back there? I'll give you all the details.
What's her name? Right.
Aku senang ada kambing.
Talk to her back there. You know, thingy. She'll tell you exactly which bits of which ruin we need.
Shut up.
Oh, Sid, is this about the helm?
Yes. Mid said I should speak with you.
I'll show you the plans then. Here you see the mithril engine, in which mithril is burned to generate heat. That heat is then harnessed to produce motive force. Excess heat is dealt with by means of the thermal displacement stack, which disperses it into the surrounding air. Now, were we to rely on thermal plating alone to achieve this effect, the rate of excess heat buildup would far exceed the displacement coefficient of the plating. In other words, the reactor would overheat and eventually explode. This is where the helm comes in. It connects to the plating, you see, and serves as a sort of thermal sink to absorb all that excess energy. Our experiments have shown that fallen ceramics are remarkably thermophilic. They can withstand and absorb levels of heat far above anything we are able to make today. And not only that, they're also waterproof and immune to rust, making them the perfect material for our protective hood. Why, if sea or rainwater were to enter the reactor proper, it would vaporize instantly. The forces produced would tear the ship from...
You can stop there. I understand. Mid said we might be able to use parts of a fallen ruin. Where would I find it?
Ah, yes. The thing is, well, I probably should have arranged to have the pieces. It's no longer a matter of just walking in and taking them.
I see. Would that help?
Oh, I'll gather my team and head there right away.
Nomor pas.
I'll be taking you all to a storehouse in the Bales. Leave anything you don't need behind. My children.
Come on.
Yeah!
You are, Sid. Thanks so much for coming. The, ruins are just over there, as is the creature I told you about, I'd imagine. Would you mind?
Of course.
Kamu hidup ya?
Anybody home?
Semuanya.
This must be our unwanted visitor. Time to go.
Easy peasy.
The things I do for you, Mid.
Sid! Oh, thank goodness you're safe.
You shouldn't have any trouble now.
Indeed. Well, don't let us keep you. We'll, see that everything is transported safely back to the hideaway.
All right. I'll let Mid know you're on your way.
Gak enak ya. Udah mau beli itunya doang nih. Ya, udah gue buka ternyata pernah.
Mid. Helena has recovered the material for the helm. She'll be along shortly.
Excellent. Another job well done.
And just one remaining.
Right. Right, the shielding. This one's a bit of a bugger.
How so?
The plating's enough to stop the engines going pop, but those things will still be spitting out enough fire to set the rest of the ship ablaze. Which is why you need proper shielding. A prism for the dragon's breath that's blazing away inside. I thought a triple thick layer of tempered steel might do it. Or more of the stuff that the Fallen use, but they'd both be too heavy. The helm and the plating are bulky enough as it is. Add any more weight and the whole ship would be at the bottom of the briny before we'd even started. I need something light. But I've racked my brains and I just can't think what would do it.
Well, if I were in need of obscure knowledge, I know whose counsel I would seek. Harpocrates.
Tomes? Yeah, well, I'd thought of that, obviously. I've got all the details written down here. Can you take this to him, see what he makes of it?
Right away.
Belajar lagi nih kayaknya. Mana lebih cepat? Oh, sini emang itu udah bisa diambil tuh gift itu.
How are you doing? You off then?
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon.
Meteorite.
You earned this. Best of luck out there, Sid.
Are you still running round after Mid? Oh, you poor bastard.
Oh, no surprises there.
Nah, ada kan sorga ya.
For you, Clive, always.
Well, actually, it's for Mid this time. Could you take a look at this?
Thermal shielding design.
Shielding for a mithril engine. Whatever will that girl think of next? And what are these notes around the edges?
She has some specific requirements for the materials. The shielding needs to be able to resist extreme heat on the inside, and yet remain cool enough on the outside not to set the ship alight, while also being light enough not to sink it. As you can imagine, She's struggling to find anything that meets her needs.
I see.
I wondered if you might know of a solution, or if you might be able to search the records for one.
Perhaps it is not a different material she requires, but a different approach.
What do you mean?
Consider the lake we have made our home. Its blighted waters eat away far more quickly than fresh water or even brine, at timber and steel alike. And yet, we have made a home here from those very materials nonetheless.
We have. But Bardolph must varnish every board twice over to keep it from rotting. And Obelus complains that without a constant supply of pitch. I see.
Early Gregorian histories speak of a preparation known as moon dew. It is said to be able to resist even the most ferocious flames. Before the dragoons tamed the worms and wyverns of the realm, nobles would daub their castle walls with it in order to guard against dragon fire.
So if we could recreate it...
It might be applied to some material or other in order to provide the protection Mid requires. As to how best to apply it and to what material, perhaps Bardolph and Obelus might be of assistance. I shall speak to them and see what wisdom they might have to offer. If you would be so kind as to put the knowledge of the past...
Thank you, Hobok. And since you're asking others to help you, perhaps I should too.
Lu pakai cara yang beda.
So you need a hand, do you?
We do. I'll be heading to market for the ingredients we need. I could do with some help. And some company too.
The other can assist me in researching how best to prepare the shielding itself.
Can we count on your aid?
Always. Well, if Jill's game.
Thank you.
I am sure either of these fine young minds would prove
Shielding that guards against even the most ferocious flames. I could have done with some of that on Justinus.
I doubt I would have survived that place with or without it. A trip to Northreach, though, I think either of us could handle.
So, Clive, who will accompany you?
Gila udah gila.
Very well. So then, what do we need to find?
I have taken the liberty of preparing a list. Here.
White chocobo eggs. Pepio nuts. Are you sure this list is right? Everything on here seems very edible. I would have thought the ingredients would be a little more exotic.
Though these items may seem mundane, so much so, in fact, that they were harvested almost to extinction, hence moon dews having fallen from favor. Now, of course, they can be obtained with ease. You should be able to find everything you need at the market in Northreach.
Is that so? I've been meaning to visit Northreach anyway. I'll set out now. Join me there when you're ready.
I will.
You two enjoy yourselves.
You too, Talia.
Good luck in Northreach. Try not to get too distracted from the task at hand.
Northreach.
Where's Jill?
Slavers don't even bother with Northreach now that all the highborn have fled south.
Sugan. Ay, bener.
There's talk at the glass.
And what can I do for you? You've a keen eye. I do like a customer who knows what he wants. come back again.
Keep them pilchards nice and chilled.
Are those Pepio nuts? I can never tell.
How goes the hunt for ingredients?
I've only just started. I'm sure everything we need is somewhere amongst all these stalls, though. Why don't we split up and see? We'll take a couple of ingredients each.
All right. What am I looking for?
How about you look for the Pepio nuts and some garlic? I'll find the other things we need. We can meet by the gate when we're finished.
Pepio nuts, apaan nih Pepio nuts?
Fresh cuts. Come and get them before they're gone.
What can I interest you in today? I trust it's all here. I hope it's to your liking. Good day.
How the hell is anyone supposed to...
Oi, don't touch anything. Go on. Take it.
That's everything.
Belum ngeri,
Let's see how Jill's getting on.
belum istilah itu orang. Seru bukuin ikan ini.
Did you find everything?
I did. Here.
Garlic and Pepio nuts. Perfect.
Pepio nuts.
Now all that remains is for Harpocrates to somehow turn all this into what Mid needs to keep her engine cool. But before we head back, would you walk with me a while? Thank you for asking me to help you today. It makes a nice change.
It does. It's good to get away from all the battle and bloodshed for once. Just being here reminds me of when we were children. Do you remember? Walking down Market Street in Rosalith, taking in the sights and smells.
How could I forget? What with Torgal's antics. Remember how his nose would prick up at the scent of sausages? He'd go racing away and we'd have to go running after him. Wouldn't catch you now, would we, boy?
Was there anything you wanted to buy for yourself while we're here?
There was, yes. Well, sort of. Molly in the kitchens told me about a place that sells particularly good pies. Thought you might like to share one with me.
I would. Thank you.
And I saw some bread. Big white cobs like the baker back in Rosalith used to make. What do you think? I thought we might get some soup to dip it in. But then I tried a slice of the butcher's dry-cured ham and it was just... oh.
You all right?
Sorry. It's just... you're right. I really do feel like a child again being here with you. Clive. Is it wrong of me to enjoy this?
No, Jill. This is how life should be. And it's how our lives will be when our work is finally done. When we can live on our own terms.
I hope so. Thank you, Clive.
Kami Clive udah kayak Cloud.
Well, I suppose we best be getting back. I need to give these ingredients to Harpocrates and Talia. I'll see you at the hideaway.
Take care.
I will. You too.
Balik ke Harbor Grid.
Welcome back. I hope you two had fun while I was busy helping Harpocrates.
Ah, Clive. Harpocrates has all the ingredients. We were just waiting for you.
How's work on the shielding progressing, Harpocrates?
Well, very well indeed. And thanks in no small part to your kind assistance. I was just explaining to Tarja how we might best go about preparing the moon dew. And now that we have all the ingredients, we may begin.
You can count on me. I've mixed more than a few mysterious concoctions in my time.
I'm sure you have. What about the shielding itself?
Work is underway, under the watchful eyes of Bardolph and Obolus.
Apparently, it'll be ready soon.
Thank you. All of you.
Right then. Jill, could you join me in the infirmary? Many hands make light work and all that.
Of course. Oh, and Clive, thank you. It was nice just being with you.
It appears our work here is almost at an end. A shame. I was enjoying playing the man of action for once. When both the shielding and the moon dew are ready, it will merely be a matter of applying the one to the other. Followed by a rigorous process of testing and retesting, of course. Perhaps someone ought to warn young Mid of that.
Leave it to me. Thank you, Harpocrates.
Siapa lagi nih?
Well, I better go and give Mid the good news then.
We're seeing troops amassing at every point.
Ain't so bad stretching your legs once in a while. Should do it more often.
Dun, 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 dun.
Before you ask, the answer's no. You can't daub your...
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mid. You'll be pleased to know that work on the shielding is underway.
You found something for it?
In a manner of speaking, Harpocrates knew of a substance that's highly resistant to heat. A coating that should provide the protection you need. He's supervising the construction and testing of the shielding as we speak.
Brilliant! I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Don't thank me. I'm just the errand boy.
Right then, let's start working out how to bolt all these bits together. To the Black Hammer!
Penasaran nih bikin apaan sih?
You know, when I got into the smithing game, I thought I'd be making swords and shields, not thermal bleeding didgeridoo-dahs.
Displacement stacks.
Same difference. Whatever you call it, I ain't putting it together in here. It's cramped enough as it is. Let's take this outside. Mid, you get all the parts lined up on the deck. I'll take care of the rest.
On my way!
Oh, and bring me the biggest hammer you can find. This is gonna require some precision walloping.
Short term later. Oh itu.
It's finished! It's finally finished!
Itu apa ini?
Fuck for that. I'll be feeling my hammer arm for weeks.
Thank you, Clive, Blackthorn, everyone. That's one down and just 3 more to go.
I'm sorry.
3 lagi.
Oh, didn't I tell you? The Enterprise has 4 mithril engines, and we'll be needing a displacement stack for each.
You don't mean...
Don't worry. Now they've got a finished one to work off. My gang in Canva can build the rest.
Good luck to them, I say. Right, I'm off to get a sling for this elbow. Any other work comes in, keep it to yourselves, eh?
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just daydreaming. Thinking about the Enterprise sailing off over the horizon to shores unknown. Searching for a land untouched by the Blight. Just like me and my dad planned. So if the worst came to the worst and every scrap of soil in the Twins turned black,
Oh,
we
nanti
might still
terbang
have
ya
a
kapalnya.
chance. That's what she was meant to be. You see, one last chance just in case we needed it. But now she's so close to being finished, I've realized I don't want it to be that. I don't want it to be just a lifeboat for us to cling to if things get desperate. I want people to sail aboard her by choice, not from the lack of it. In a world where we're not just trying to survive, but where we can actually live.
I'm working on that. And I'll do everything I can to get you what you want.
Don't you always? All right. My mind's made up. As soon as the Enterprise is fit to sail, I'm putting her under your command. Sod our plans, I'm trusting in yours.
Are you sure about this?
Something tells me it's what my dad would have wanted.
He'd be proud of you.
You were gonna visit his grave, weren't you?
I was. And you can come too now that your little project is finished.
Right. There's just one thing I need to finish up first. Won't be a mo.
All right. I'll let Otto know you're coming. Meet us in the mess when you're ready.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Ih, ada side quest.
The Enterprise will have 4 mithril engines, each needing its own displacement stack. So just 3 more like this, and we'll be finished.
Is that the thing Tomes helped to build? Yeah. He said it was some sort of...
Oh, udah kembar ini.
He cracked the crystal too. You're joking.
Ada yang baru nih.
Trouble with the ledgers. Shouldn't he be asking Otto for help? What could be wrong with Torgor?
Ada yang salah sama si Torgol apaan ini, perasaan kayak baik-baik kayaknya.
Hopefully it's nothing. But I should...
Blacksmith plus baru baca lagi lah. Banyak bener kambing set kelasnya.
Mid told me she was building a ship.
Clive, did you get my letter?
That's why I'm here.
Shh.
Is this better?
Listen, I've some bad news. It turns out the hideaway may be slightly behind in its payment to certain lenders, and it's maybe my fault. But I swear to the goddess, I thought I had the numbers square. Sadly, that square turned out to be more of a circle. Zero, you might say. I can straighten it out, I swear, but it's gonna take some time. And I'm gonna need help keep...
Late for that, I'd say.
There you are! What's...
Datang lagi si otonya ini.
Picked you, and instead of coming straight to me, you get... Maybe I'll dig you out of the hole you've dug for yourself. Clive, the man in charge of the place you've been cheerfully trying to bankrupt. And you thought this was a cunning plan. Why? Well, who needs paying?
Oh, just Martha. And the dame. And, well, Lady Karen. But only 500 talents.
We owe 3 of our most trusted friends 5 million.
What the heck?
Each. 5 million.
15 sekarang.
Each. They lent us the bulk of the money we used to rebuild the hideaway, you see, and, well, I must have made some sort of oversight.
Those ledgers were my responsibility, and it was my decision to entrust them to you. This is my fault.
Do we have that much to hand? I can always ask my uncle.
No, we don't. And no, you won't. We've lightened Lord Rosfield's purse enough. After the king's ransom we had off him, he deserves better than to see our begging bowl. Besides, we'll need to learn to stand on our own if we're gonna make this work.
All right. But that doesn't mean you have to shoulder the burden yourself. Is there anything I can do to help?
There might be. How'd you fancy taking these to Martha and the dame?
Rocks.
Rocks, he says. Worth 1,000 talents apiece, these are. Little something Sid and I set aside for when times got lean. And I reckon 15 million in overdue debt probably qualifies. I just hope our associates' eyes are a bit more discerning than yours.
I'm sure there will be.
Should be me making the rounds, really. But you know how it is with this place. Orders to bark, arses to wipe and all that.
I know. Which is why I don't mind going in your place.
Go. Do you know why I only gave Master Clive here 2 star rubies?
Because you'd rather Lady Karen killed me.
Because I'd rather Lady Karen killed you. Yes.
Well, I suppose this is goodbye then.
Don't worry. I'm sure Karen will understand.
Really? Do you think so?
No. I don't.
Gimana sih biar ini? Biar jurnalnya. Martha.
Clive, we weren't expecting you.
I wasn't expecting to be here, but it seems we still owe you a considerable amount of coin for your help with our rebuilding efforts. And though I doubt it's what you were expecting, we were hoping you'd take this as payment.
Star Ruby. Oh, bener tuh.
A star ruby? I can't accept this. It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if you can find yourself the right buyer.
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much, no one would ever borrow from me again. Anyway, why are you the one here asking me about this? I'd have expected Otto. Bit much sending the Lord Marquis out to settle your debts, isn't it? The old goat working himself to death again?
Something like that. Most days I think he's the only reason the hideaway's still standing.
Same as always, eh? Back when the place was nothing but a twinkle in the eye of a recently retired Lord Commander, word is he was the first one Sid reached out to. Probably knew that without his strong arm and level head, the idea would never get off the ground. Sid may have been the face of the hideaway, but Otto's always been the backbone. And when Sid passed away, we were all worried that would be the end of it. That Otto would just give up.
His death was hard on everyone. But it must have hit Otto hardest of all.
But he didn't give up, did he? Quite the opposite, and I reckon he saw in you too. And don't we all? Doesn't hurt that you're half as stubborn and twice as handsome, neither. That, and you keep good company.
I suppose I do.
Tinggal nggak sih? Ih, sambil.
There's talk that the glass gate.
Citizens are free to come and go as they please. Checkpoint's open to all. You'll find little beyond Northridge then.
Did you hear? The gates to heaven.
I want to see you. It's all right.
What am I going to do without Sweetwater and Oiler Tuck?
Milady, I come bearing gifts.
Gifts? Whatever is the occasion.
Ruby and...
Oh my.
Otto asked me to give it to you. To settle the hideaway's debt with the Veil. And to compensate you for the time it took us to do so.
You disappoint me, Clive. I thought you might finally be warming to me. Tell Otto he can keep his baubles. I tried to tell him as much the first time around. The man owes me nothing, nor does the hideaway. My contribution to the restoration effort was made freely and willingly. It was the least I could do.
You once told me Sid did you a kindness. I'd like to do the same. Please, accept it. For my sake. And for Otto's. For all of us. For all you've done.
It is rather fetching. isn't it? Very well. Otto is lucky to have you, Clive. I doubt anything could ever replace his son. But you and the others at the Hideaway are the closest thing he has to family.
Otto had a son.
Long ago, yes. Sid told me Otto lost him when he was just a boy, and blamed himself for not being able to stop it. I don't know how it happened, whether there was anything he could have done, but it was clear that it weighed heavily on him.
I didn't know.
How could you have? I doubt anyone did. Besides Sid, I've never met a man more keen to bear his sorrows in stoic silence. An ill habit, given that both have always been surrounded by friends desperate to help them.
I'm beginning to see that. Gob will want to know the stones were delivered, if he's still with us.
Oh, udah, itu yang terakhirnya.
Goat, so Lady Karen
But she was just too stubborn to take it. She threw it right back in my face, in fact, and told me I could stick my stupid stone where the sun don't shine.
Karen refused payment.
I hope it wasn't something I said.
I'm sure you were as tactful as ever. Let me see what I can do.
Oh, wonderful. I hope you have better luck than I did.
Ned told me she was building a ship.
Is that the thing Tomes helped to build?
Lah ini si Sharon ini juga bodoh.
Lady Carrot Goad tells me you won. Would you prefer the debt was repaid in coin?
What debt? I don't recall lending any of you. I may have tossed a talent or two in the Hideaway's coffers, but those were donations, and you can hardly call it charity if you go asking for it back.
Of course not. But one good turn deserves another. And our circumstances have changed. Surely you wouldn't shun the gratitude of a pauper who happened to have become a prince.
Oh, so you're a prince now, are you? Fine. But I'm selling it and taking what I'm owed, then you're getting the rest whether you like it or not. Where'd you even get this? A decent trader might nab 1,000 talents for a star ruby. A canny one, meanwhile, might be I already have a buyer in mind. Might be you even know her. A fine continental maid whose beauty's only eclipsed by a guile in commerce. You wouldn't mind, would you?
Not at all. Just be sure to tell her that it's always a pleasure doing business.
I hear you ended up delivering all 3 stones.
Nih, semua udah
Thanks to this
dikasih.
lump, I sometimes wonder what I pay you for.
Speaking of which, I still haven't been paid last month's wages.
Oh, so you remember what's owed to you then? Get your ass behind that disc of yours and don't get up before those ledgers are square.
Right away.
I've seen that before.
You have, yeah. Plenty of times. It was the only goblet Sid ever used. Either out of habit, or because the filthy sod couldn't be bothered to find a clean one.
I knew so little about him.
Like most people.
Martha and the Dame both seem to have fond memories of him.
I bet they do.
How long did you know Sid before he...
Before he died? 20 summers, give or take. Back in the day, I was a purser on a trade ship, which is where I met him. He bought passage to... forget where. But having nothing better to do on the long nights, we set up drinking island rum till the morning. I post not long after that, on account of making a fine maiden's belly fat. But me and Sid stayed close, promising we'd one day sail the seas again. That was before fate stepped in and said she was having none of it. The magic woke inside my son soon after his first name day, and there was no hiding his knack.
Couldn't you and your family have...
My family were the ones who summoned the constable, wanted the monster taken away. I couldn't turn my back on him. For the life of me, understand how they could. Luckily, Sid was of the same mind as me. It was him who stood beside me when all I wanted was to tear the whole world down. Who cried for me when I had no tears left of my own. Him who swore he'd do everything he could to stop it from happening again. And he was true to his word, too. Left the Royal Army once and for all. His ranks, his ribbons, gone. Just like that. Threw away everything he had. All to right a wrong that no one else had the courage to face. I knew then I'd follow that man to the ends of the earth.
Kelasnya si Sid-nya.
He was always too clever for his own good, was Sid. Saw the world for what it really was, while the rest of us were content to go along with the lie we were shown. And it can't have been easy, bearing that burden alone. But he didn't let it stop him. He never lost faith in what he believed was right. And that gave us faith in him. Faith he'd steer us true. So I swore to myself that I'd always be right behind him, ready to catch the stubborn sod, if ever he should fall. But I couldn't even do that. Ignore me. Just the ramblings of a tired old man. Leave that lot. I'll tidy it up in a bit.
This is Sid's handwriting. Dear Otto.
I may be drunk, but I wanted you to know this place would be fucked without you. Love you, you grumpy old sod.
This note.
What about it?
Sid was right. Without you, we'd all be lost.
He should have bloody well said so then. Just once. Before he went. But then, why would he? Him, or anyone. I'd only have told him to piss off.
Aduh. Senjata ini.
You're wrong, though. Both of you. It was never just me keeping the hideaway afloat. It was all of us. I just shoved people in the right direction. I barely seem to be able to do that anymore.
Would you rather goat were at the helm?
Well, maybe I've got a few more years left in me.
I'm going to hold you to that, Otto.
Before you go, Sid would have wanted you to have this.
But that's...
This'll do me just fine. Thanks for the ray of sunshine. I'll see if I can't pay you back.
Already have.
Sip goblet.
Mid told me she was building a ship.
Is that the thing Tomes helped with?
Count. Ada apa dengan si Torgul?
I got your note. You think something's wrong with Torgul?
So you can read. Congratulations. But I didn't say I were wrong with him. I said something weren't right. been eating me treats. He used to love cracking the bones from Molly's boiled brown, but now he won't so much as look at them. Didn't like him, which is why I'm of a mind that his mind's on something else. You've not been working him too hard, have you?
No harder than usual. Is that it, boy? Do you need a rest?
What was it you said he was? A frost wolf?
That's what the lawsman seems to think.
Then maybe this all has something to do with whatever it is that's woken inside him.
I suppose things have been different since Rosalith. Perhaps Hippocrates knows something.
Instead of everything, you mean? Perhaps.
Lawsman, I need to ask you about Torgal. Something's not right with him.
He isn't ill, is he?
I don't think so. But according to Lady Karen, he seems to have lost his appetite, which is certainly a new development. She says he's hardly been touching his bones of late, and she believes it may have something to do with what happened at Rosalith Castle.
I rather think she might be right, though not about his appetite. All canids are instinctively inclined to crack open bones for the rich marrow that resides within, and I see no reason why a frost wolf should be any different. Accordingly, I suspect it is not a lack of appetite that afflicts Torgal, but a surfeit of it. If we assume that his newfound magics require additional nourishment to sustain, it may well be that the bones Lady Karen is accustomed to providing are no longer sufficient. Frost wolves, after all, habitually prey upon far larger animals, whose bones may yield altogether different nutrients. As to where one might find a suitable substitute, some antelopes that graze the meadows of eastern Rosaria have been known to grow to a size more than double that of their less.
I don't recall ever seeing any that large.
And little wonder. The oldest and largest, the last elder antelope sighting I recall hearing about, took place near Cressida, and that was long before the village was abandoned.
Even so, it seems like a good place to start.
Good hunting, Clive.
Ready, go? Certainly quiet. If I were a giant antelope, it would seem like just the place. I doubt we'll find one bigger than that. Hungry, Torgal? Now. Will it be enough, I wonder? I say that answers my question. Which means we owe the lawsman our thanks. You're just a big puppy, aren't you? A very big puppy. You do know you can take that with you, Torgal. Lady Karen will be relieved to hear you've got your appetite back. Come on, boy. After it.
I noticed you and Torgal had gone off somewhere.
You can...
So, Molly's leftovers weren't good enough, eh? That'll teach me for treating you like you're still a pup. All right, no need to shout. Now we know what you're after, I can see about getting some in.
Speaking of which, I brought one for later. Can I leave it with you?
You can, aye. I'm nice like that. In return, you can thank Tomes for me. The bloody know-it-all.
I was just on my way to see him.
Were you able to locate your quarry?
We were indeed, Lawsman. You pointed us in exactly the right direction. And Torgal's been a very happy hound ever since.
Very good, very good.
Lady Karen sends her thanks, by the way, for your part in solving...
Ah. But that reminds me. After your last visit, I found myself pondering Torgal's talents. Do you recall our conversation concerning Lady Jill's role in Torgal's transformation?
About how she somehow woke the power within him.
Precisely that. A reasonable conclusion, I thought. But one which raised certain questions in my mind. You see, the Fenrir of legend served Shiva and Shiva alone. And while the powers attributed to him are certainly impressive, the records imply they are somewhat different in nature to those you described Torgal as having used.
What are you suggesting?
That Torgal may be the beneficiary of more than one icon's power. Consider that in addition to Lady Jill, he has served as a loyal companion to you, your brother, and even the late Cid. In short, the icons hitherto near at hand, or should I say at paw, have been diverse and plenty, and that number has only grown as the realm's dominance have fallen to your sword. One can but speculate as to how all of this has affected Torgal.
He has seemed more fierce of late.
And if I am not mistaken, he will grow fiercer still. We are fortunate indeed to be able to count him amongst our allies and not our
He's more than an ally. He's a friend. Blackthorn, do you have a moment?
Not really, no.
This won't take long. I just wanted to ask how you're getting on. You might still be doubting your craft. Learning the trick of that. Is there something else weighing on your mind? Perhaps sharing your thoughts might help.
That bastard's like a dog with a bone. Still, he's got a keen eye, I'll give him that. He's just, well, Karen showed me something. Something I've never seen before.
And that was?
A sword. An odd-looking thing with a single-edged blade. The metal itself wasn't anything to write home about, but fuck me. The edge on it. You could slice a man clean in two with a weapon like that, and it... before he even realized he'd been cut.
So that's what's troubling you?
Nah. Not troubling me exactly. More distracting. Can't stop thinking, how do you get an edge that sharp? It's driving me mad.
And if you knew how to do it, we could arm the curse breakers with even better blades.
That's about the size of it, yeah.
I'll see what I can find out. Sharper swords are always welcome. And we can't have our master blacksmith being distracted.
You're a soft touch, you know that. But I can't say I'm not grateful for it. Good luck, eh?
Thank you. Let's see what Karen knows about this sword. You're looking well, Karen.
What do you want? Out with it.
I want to know about the sword you showed Blackthorn. Single-edged and extremely sharp.
Running around after him again, are you?
I suppose I am, yes. But I need to help him find out how to work an edge like that. It's driving him to distraction.
Little wonder, I suppose. There's not many like that make it as far as the twins, and those that do go straight into private collections. Which made it nice and easy finding a buyer.
Can you tell me who bought it? Where is it now?
You think I tell people who my clients are? Suppose you're not likely to go nicking him off me, are you now? Fine. If you stop mooning at me like that. Lord Ignac's the man you want. Dalmekian bloke. Collects weapons and the like. And he's got more money than sense, which is why he's one of my favourite clients. Reckon he'll still be at the inn in Dalamil, where I left him.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh. And he's a touch eccentric. If you take my meaning.
I appreciate the warning. People take notice of wealthy men. Shouldn't be too hard to track down Karen's collector.
Gone. Back again, are you? Any more trouble and you'll be barred for life, however deep your friend's pockets might be.
We don't know for sure. It could have just been a tremor.
Yeah. You. Listen. I've got this theory. The fallen. I don't think they all fell. Some of them are still living among us. You could be one of them. could be one of them.
Welcome. If you're hoping for a bed, I'm afraid you'll have to look elsewhere. One of our wealthier patrons has purchased the use of every room, hoping to keep out the riffraff, as he puts it.
My reputation will be ruined! Ruined! Calm yourself, Lord Ignac, I beg of you, before you do yourself a mischief.
Pardon the intrusion, but...
Out! Get out! I paid for these rooms so I wouldn't be disturbed. Leave me be! Please, allow me to apologize. His lordship is going through a difficult time, and he's never been fond of guests arriving unannounced. Radim! Get rid of the filthy oaf this instant! Very good, Lord Ignac. Would you mind stepping outside for a moment?
I'm sorry if I've caused you any trouble.
That? Oh, no. That's just how his lordship is. Though the morning's events have left him somewhat fractious. He has been dispossessed of his luggage, you see. The thieves also made away with a considerable amount of coin. Coin the innkeeper will soon be keen to collect.
I don't suppose a certain blade was among the stolen items. A single-edged sword. It was purchased from a merchant friend of mine.
Ah, you know Lady Karen. Yes, I'm afraid it was.
Then I'll retrieve Lord Ignac's luggage. But I have one condition.
You have but to state it. You are welcome to anything that is within my power to grant.
I want an audience with Lord Ignac. A few minutes should be enough. Then I'll be on my way.
A condition I would be a fool to refuse. Of course, you shall have your...
I don't suppose you saw where the thieves went.
I did not, no. Though some discreet inquiries made on his lordship's behalf mean that I know... coin in Dalamal is said to pass through that disreputable corner of the Valcroy.
And that's where I'm heading.
I shall speak to Lord Ignac in your absence.
That will be very kind of you.
Farewell.
Come on. Faster!
got company! Come on, lads, let's tear the bastard's head off!
Apaan sih barang yang dicuri?
This must be Ignac's luggage. Nothing seems to be damaged. All right. Let's get it back to Dalamel.
Tumben nggak disuruh balik sendiri.
I hear I have you to thank for the return. Oh, my good man.
Wyvern. Glad to make your acquaintance.
A formidable name indeed. Well, Wyvern, I appear to be in your debt. Redeem here tells me you wished for an audience. Is that all?
A few moments of your time should suffice, yes.
You're a peculiar fellow, Wyvern. All right, speak.
Master Wyvern was wondering if you could tell him about a certain single-edged sword you recently acquired.
Oh, a true work of art, that one. Karen drove me hard on the price, but I would have sold her Radim here to get my hands on that sword. It was made in the Outer Isles, far beyond the Twins, and is used exclusively by the practitioners of a unique school of swordsmanship. They believe no combat should ever exceed a single strike and hone their blades to such perfection that none ever does. Each sword is made for that one perfect stroke, and for that stroke only. They crack upon a second blow. There's a
But how do they hone such an edge?
Why, they use a whetstone, of course. Whetstones, rather. A whole array of them, ranging from the coarse to the fine. 10,000 licks with the sharpening stone, then 10,000 more. But it is the final stone which lends the blade its legendary sharpness. A mineral quite foreign to this great realm of ours. And that is the key. The secret ingredient. Wyvern, it occurs to me that my little lecture is hardly equal to services rendered. Take this, together with my regards. The very stone of which I spoke, far rarer and a far more fitting payment.
Thank you.
Pardon the intrusion, my lordship. However, it is long past time we prepared ourselves to depart.
So it is. I am locked in bitter competition. I am one step ahead of the unscrupulous scoundrel, but he is hard.
And there are many other collectors out there.
Too many to count, but only one do I consider my nemesis. Lord Byron Rosfield, and is a perennial thorn in my side.
I can imagine.
Farewell, Wyvern. May our paths cross again. Radim, we mustn't dawdle.
I think his lordship is rather taken with you, Master Wyvern. Thank you. Coming, my lordship.
Mana ya? Nanti nggak bisa dapat pedang.
Trust Uncle Byron to find such an interesting rival. Now, let's see what Blackthorn makes of this whetstone, shall we?
I take it Drake's Fang was your doing, Sid.
You really are quite the outlaw.
Kelek banget. Udah main di ini gua ya.
Sorry for the wait.
Pentium kambing.
But hopefully you'll agree it was worth it.
You learned something about that sword?
I did better than that.
Nih, whetstone.
Right. A whetstone? Yes.
Sorry kenyang.
But not one you'll find anywhere in Valisthea.
Oh.
No wonder I couldn't get the same finish on the grinding wheel. One hit and all done, eh? Might not be so bad if all you ever fought were duels. Good luck on the battlefield. Your second opponent would be your last, no matter how good you were.
Even so, is there some way it could be...
I think so, yeah. With this whetstone and the right kind of steel, I could probably even make a... But there'd be no replacing this little rock. I reckon we get a dozen swords from it, if that. Swords that the curse breakers wouldn't know how to wield properly, and that would see them through a single fire piece. Nah, no point trying to copy that thing. Be about as much use as a wax anvil. But finishing our blades with a whetstone this fine, now that's something to consider. And what's finer than fallen masonry, eh? Or more hard wearing for that matter. Just imagine it. Good Valisthean steel with an edge as sharp as any found in the Outer Isles. I won't make a copy now. I'll make something much better.
I'm sure the curse breakers will be delighted. Just don't push yourself too hard.
I've been working day and night since I was half your age, and I'll still be here when you're long gone. Hey, thanks, Clive. I mean it. I owe you one, August 2.
You'll be happy to hear you said that.
And I'll see that my debt to you's paid. First new blade I make's got your name on it. You come and find me when you've got the materials.
Okay.
Right.
Itu baru yang kedua. Saya ada ketiga nih. Excalibur, buset.
Clive. So, what'll it be?
Mana tuh bom ember, gravel height. Ini beda dikit padahal. Bisa dirempos sih. Enggak deh, masuk udah cacat. Ini silicon ash.
Don't waste my time. You ain't got the stuff.
Aku enggak.
And?
Nggak coy, udah lu ya.